Nowadays, natural resources has decreased due to the high demand of energy consumption. But with advanced technology, many things has developed to respond to the need and also developed to respond to be environmental friendly. Just like this car behind me that has been running around 17 countries. Climate change and global warmings are the results of man-made by overusing the natural resources or polluting the environment without considerations or responsibility. Only the urge to feed ourselves more comfortably without acknowledging the consequences. To save our planet or Mother Earth, actions need to be done, and another controversial way to do it is to travel around the world, but not the conventional means of traveling. Here, two Frenchmen, Antonin Guy and his friend Xavier Degon, demonstrate this new concept of travel with their electrically full engine. The idea of the Electric Odyssey project first started in October 2010, with both are willing to engage in today's environmental issues and sharing the adventure, and a desire to travel differently, and the electric car seems to be the answer for them.
It's an electric car, which means that there is no direct emission from the car, no CO2 and no other particles. So this can help environment to keep to be greener. And also because we are using electricity, and to produce electricity, it uses CO2 and this kind of thing. But still, it's better than using a regular petrol car. And in addition to that, if you live in a city, for example Bangkok, you don't have any, if you are using only electric cars, you don't have any local pollution. So in the city, it will be very clean and also no noise. So it makes the urban area better also.
And the car that they use for this world tour cannot be anything but, of course, carrying a French nationality like both drivers. Meet Citroën Z0 that comes with capacity of a 90-mile or 150-kilometer autonomy. Like every electric car, the car can run for 6 hours for a fully charge of the lithium-ion battery using a classic 220-volt electric outlet. When using a quick charge station, which is around 50 kilowatt under 400 volts, 80% of the battery can be charged in 30 minutes.
Because you just need to charge it during the night, and that's it. So you need just a regular outlet in your parking lot, and that's it. But for a full charge, it's 20 kilowatt-hour. So in terms of cost, it's less than, I would say maybe 80 baht. Less than 80 baht, for sure.
Less than 80
for 120, 140 kilometers. So it's very cheap. It's 5 times cheaper than 5 to 7 times cheaper to petrol, depending on the cost of electricity and petrol in each country.
With both drivers pack their bags and say goodbye to Paris to say hello for a world tour of 17 countries. The route consists of going through Benelux in Luxembourg, then the Rocky Mountains, Japan, the Silk Road through Kazakhstan, and finally the plains of Central Asia and back to Europe. Of course, not to forget mentioning about Bangkok, as the two have also stopped by before continuing their trip in Laos. As the car can last for 6 hours on a fully charged battery, the question is, how can the car cope with Bangkok's heavily traffic jam?
In traffic, when you don't move, the car doesn't use a little bit, but you can stay maybe 3 days waiting in your car.
Yeah.
So.
This 25,000-kilometer trip will be the opportunity to charge the car more than 300 times at people's homes across 17 countries in diverse weather conditions. The journey started on February 11, 2012 in Strasbourg, and then the return will take place on the same day 8 months later, beginning of October 2012 roughly. These 8 months are made up of 200 days on the road plus the maritime crossings between the continents. The estimated total cost of this round-the-world trip is between 250 and 500 euro of electricity consumption. That is to say about 5 to 7 times cheaper than the same trip using gasoline.
So it's an electric car, it's very nice to drive. There is no much difference driving electric car and a regular car. The main thing which struck you when you drive for the first time is that there is no sound. so you cannot hear the engine. Even when it's on or off, you don't know. There is a little light, but you don't know by the noise. And also when you are driving, and especially in the traffic jam, it's really better because no noise, so you're less stressed, and also the acceleration, the torque of the car is quite good. So it's really a smooth driving, dynamic if you want. And as it's a small car for urban areas, it's also easy to to make small turns and to go in a narrow street. So it's very great to drive, especially in the cities.
After 10,000 kilometers traveling around the world, we can say that it's more comfortable. Definitely more comfortable to drive an electric car because it's smooth, because it's no noise, and yes, more comfortable, except on very bad roads where, as you know, it's better to get a four-wheel drive.
The route was not chosen randomly. It corresponds to a basic needs in order to find a charging spot every 60 miles or the distance, which is inferior to the autonomy and takes into account possible unexpected events, which means staying in relatively highly populated areas.
Yeah, but most of the time when you buy an electric car, most of the time you charge it at home or where you work. Most of the people, they don't use public stations. It's just in case of emergency, you can use public stations. So yes, in France, for example, they are working on improving the network of charging stations.
The total number of driving hours per day should not exceed 4 to 5 hours of alternative driving. That is about 2 to 5 hours per day per driver, with at least one break. The whole crew has worked in collaboration with the PSA teams of police service area, and several training sessions have been organized on how to deal with the car. Both drivers have also been trained in a driving style which minimizes the risk of incident and which enables them to foresee possible breakdowns. In order to reduce the risk of accident, this kind of driving will maximize the autonomy of the car and allow them to travel the longest possible distance each day. In that sense, the crew will adopt eco-driving, which are no accelerations or sudden braking and a moderated speed to avoid the calls for power.
This is a power
Regular plug, yes.
regular plug, so we plug in there. Up, okay, done. And then, so this gonna be stick to any power point.
The big challenge is to find an outlet.
So this gonna be, like put in any power point. How long it's gonna take?
6 hours for a full charge.
6 hours for a full charge, and you can run about 150 kilometers. Can I have a look at the back of the car?
Inside?
Yeah. So here are the belongings of the drivers, and they have done how many countries so far?
8 countries, including Thailand.
8 countries, including Thailand. But the target is to go around the world with 17 countries.
Yes.
And how much have you spent so far?
How much?
How much have you spent so far
In terms of energy, it's when we say that it's going to cost 250 euros, it's based on the price of the electricity in France. But here, most of the time, we don't pay for electricity. Because, we ask people, we tell them, okay, we are going to pay for the electricity. And most of the time they refuse, they say, no, it's a gift from us, and we want to help you, so you don't pay for electricity. But maybe 100 euros so far we spent in terms of electricity?
Yeah, I think less than 100 euros.
100 euros.
Yes. So we've driven 10,000 kilometers. So when you turn on the engine, you just hear this ding, and then nothing. No noise of the engine or anything. You don't feel anything.
And then you can just like.
And right now I can drive.
Okay, so now I'm having a test drive of the car, so I will leave you with that, and I will take a tour with this electric car. I am Neena M.L, reported for Asean Newsroom.